Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the new moon in January, right? 2021. How exciting is this? So, I'm doing the Course in Miracles. We're on day 13. I didn't post yesterday, and I want to talk a little bit about what you should be experiencing or what you could be. I mean, let me not have a meaningless thought about something that happened in the past, right? So what we've been doing up to now is gently touching our nervous system and being willing to let go of our beliefs. We talked over the past week, why do you want to get rid of your belief system? Well, we're not talking about all your belief systems, but any belief system that causes upset. So from now on, whenever I say, change your belief system, I'm talking about changing the ones that cause you pain. Because when you're in a flight or fright response, then you're not able to think to the full capacity that you were designed to think and feel, connect, create. When you talk about wealth, when you talk about your soulmate, when you talk about your dream job, when you talk about having friends and family and all these connections, well, and self-pride, like being proud of who you are and proud of what you can accomplish, having self-confidence. Any thought that you have that doesn't support the growth and nourishment of those qualities I just spoke about on an emotional level, on a physical level, and on a mental level, then those are the thoughts that we're talking about. Like when you really am still with yourself, like right now, like when you get off, put this phone down, where does your mind go? Does it stay in the now moment? Or is it rehearsing something for tomorrow? Or is it reliving some pain from the past? Are you emotionally yearning for something that you feel isn't there? Well, all of those scenarios are built on energetic thoughts. And those thoughts create pictures. So you see, if you want to see the world that's really here, to be in the now moment, to have access, to be affluent, to not only feel connected, but have the experience of enriching connections, then understanding that the Course in Miracles is designed in a step-by-step process, and on by day 14, we are slowly, gently, lovingly creating a new neural pathway. Instead of like attacking a belief head on, we're actually allowing you to connect to what I call your authentic nervous system instead of your flight or fright nervous system. Okay? So I want to read a little bit because these are the thoughts. So I'm going to tell you the why I preface all that is because this is the one, number 13, when people start to feel some resistance. So much so that the authors of the Course in Miracles says, if it doesn't resonate, don't do it. Don't make it a thing. If any of the lessons do not resonate, boom, stop. Don't say it. Go to the next lesson. Because you see, this is more about creating a new loving pathway, not about saying this is the only way. All right? So I just wanted to state that. And what Pam Grout says about it. So I'll tell you the two statements. On lesson 12 is I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Remember, this is building upon the fact that when I see this cup, I only understand this cup by my experience with it in the past. You know, with all my experiences of mapping when I was a little girl, someone told me that was a cup, all that comes from the past. So if I want to see beyond a problem, you want to understand your problem, your upset is built on words, really, of a judgment you have of something on the past, the way you learned to file it. So it's like you still can have that neural pathway. You can still think, I can still think this is a cup for the rest of my life, right? However, if I want to open my mind to say, well, maybe it's a goblet. Maybe this type of cup is a goblet, like go to the next level. Then I have to be willing to disconnect all my association of what I called this before, for me to automatically call this a goblet, right? So that gives you a very oversimplified version of why it's important to let go. Like every time you start to feel upset, that's when you say these lines. And so you'll say, I'm upset because I'm seeing a meaningless world. I am talking about something that's not in the now moment. And therefore it really has no meaning. Anything that isn't right here has no power. So that's what I've been starting to pull together. And I think I'm articulating it right and explaining it right. But inside my heart melts. Because it's like I'm getting this barrage of negative memories, and as I do, I just say the Course in Miracle, oh, that's a meaningless thought. That's such a meaningless thought. And it just dissipates. And with that, any hardened part of my heart begins to melt. This morning as I was driving to work, I had soft, beautiful tears of, oh, okay, that's so meaningless. And it's like automatically something very biochemical, neurological, but more so spiritual is happening in my life right now. So I want to report to you, that as I tell you, the one that everyone has the resistance with is this. It says, a meaningless world engenders fear. Now that's not what people have resistance to. What it is a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. And that's when usually people start, I don't know, how do you feel about that? For me, I think what happens is I don't feel like I'm in competition with God. I feel like I put God up here as this Santa Claus in the sky or this mean person that's just going to give me all kinds of good stuff if I follow rules. And, that makes God so small. That makes God so small. So that's the part where I don't feel I'm in competition with God. But I do feel somehow I make God my punisher. So I don't know if it's resistance or if I just don't totally align with the word competition. This is for you to listen to. This is for you to feel. Because, your soul is guided you here, and your soul it can shine through you even more from everyone that has done the course. So I want to know how you feel about it. What Pam feels about number 13 is this. Withdraw your faith in distortion and invest in what is true. And that comes from the Course in Miracles as a quote. So Pam explains it like this, and again, everybody, I'm reading from Pam Grout's version of A Course in Miracles. She had a writing assignment where she got to go on a cruise ship with these top chefs, all right? And she says there was private cooking classes and all that kind of stuff. So when she first arrived on the ship, she took a selfie with a cardboard cutout of the 3 guests of honor, like the 3 top chefs that were going to be there, right? And she goes, and the purpose of A Course in Miracles' first 50 lessons is to notice that everything my eyes show me is a cardboard cutout. It's a picture of the past frozen in time, serving as a stand-in for the real thing. Hey, Robin. Once I decide life is a certain way, people are a certain way, the cardboard cutout is all I can see. See, it sets your filters. My crafty brain literally reconstructs an empty shell, a caricature of a teeming life that exists of what's right now, in the right now moment. Like there's so much more right now at our fingertips that we cannot even see because we've decided life is a certain way. Okay? I can't really see the people, the events, my own backyard, not as they are now. 3 or 4 times today, I stop and notice that I am looking at a cardboard cutout of my story. And I remind myself that as long as I do the invisible grace and never-ending abundance will always remain invisible. Oh, and I remind myself as long as I keep just looking at the cardboard, then, okay, I read that a little bit different. I remind myself that as long as I keep looking at the cardboard cutout of my life as if it's real, I won't ever see the invisible. That's what it is. Okay, I am happy to report that later during the said cruise, I was able to take a selfie with the real deal, the flesh and bone chefs. All right? So, you know, the thing is, understanding that most of what is going on right now in our world is good. It is uncomfortable. It is tremendously uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. And developing a nervous system where you can keep your head. And what I mean by that is that you're safe, you're protected, you're calm inside, and you also can think while everybody else is losing their mind. And when everyone else is losing their mind, I want you to see it as everyone is having nervous breakdowns because something beautiful and new is being born within them. See that instead of seeing them as bad. Like, see, part of this practice in the Course in Miracles is knowing that the truth is that everyone is a miracle. Everyone emanates from love.